Hey Michelle, it's Tommy calling.
Hi Tommy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm calling from a whole bunch of places. I'm calling from Homorazzi and OutTV and TFD and Live Nation and all the... I'm one big person for everybody.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Let's start gossiping a little bit. How was the Drag Race cruise?
Well, you can hear it in my voice. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, last time was the first time for me, and it was so unbelievable, and we just kind of amped it up this time around by adding new things and new tricks, and I added it in our cabaret show that was such a fucking smash that we were going to take it on the road, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but it was so good, turning people away at the door and shit.
Yeah.
I felt like that Midler was fabulous. It was so good. It's such a great experience for the fans and for the queens, because the queens are always in bars, which I'm grateful for, because so am I, and doing our thing there. And this is kind of like we're trapped at sea with our fans, and they really get a chance to know them one-on-one a little bit more, and I think that's really great for some of them. Some of them hide out in their room and think they're better than the world, and that's, you know, it's sad for them. It's a bad thing.
Which ones? I want to know names.
No, Mama never tells. Mama never tells, because I love them equally, and if they want to be twats, then that's up to them. But what they don't realize is that they have to know where they came from to know where they're going. And if they continue that way, they'll be going nowhere.
Right. So.
But that's their problem, not mine. I'm the mayor of Gayville, and I just walk around and greet everybody and welcome everybody and try to, you know, hang with as many people as I can and make as many people as happy as I can. Go ahead. So that's what I do.
Now, they put you guys together. I mean, another cool thing about that, which is kind of like what we're going to do with Battle of the Seasons, is there's going to be more than just one queen at the show. There's 6 of them, and then yourself as the host.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about Battle of the Seasons, because we've never had it in Canada. I've seen it happen a lot in the States, but never in Canada. So give me a little bit of info about it.
Well, first of all, I'm so excited to be coming to Canada. Toronto and Vancouver, I'm so excited about Toronto, because there's so much great shopping in Toronto. Like, I keep telling our manager that I want the extra day in Toronto, not a travel day. I was like, look, we could see. He's like, you really want to stay in Toronto? I'm like, yeah. I have to go to Pinky's Nails, and I need to go to Remix Clothing, and I need to go shopping.
Yeah.
So the difference about Live Nation than your average girl at a bar, which, again, I do every weekend, so I'm extremely grateful for bar gigs, but it's a whole different thing, because we're doing the Battle of the Seasons tour in actual theaters, darling. It's a theater show. So, you know, it's a prolonged, an hour and a half to 2 hours long of, it's not drag, it's drag, it's not lip syncing.
Yeah.
It's a live tour. So, you know, I'm shady, I got my comedy, but I also sing, as well as all the queens. They all perform live, some of which you really can't wait to hear live, some of which you wish weren't live, but that's part of the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And they're all talented, they all bring something different to the party, and it's really, really fun and funny, so you get to get up close and personal and see what these kids have is real talent. I think that's the thing about Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race, the TV show, is it kind of validates the fact that the art form known as drag is a really true form of art and self-expression. It's not Milton Berle and Flip Wilson in a wig and a dress. It's an actual, true, beautiful, passionate form of art. And these kids get to display what they do and do well. And I'm so proud of them.
Now, when did you guys start with the Battle of the Seasons tour? Was it last year?
We started this year, you know, kind of drips and drabs to see how it would do, and Live Nation came on board, thank God, you know, backing us up and thinking that, I say thank God because, yes, we could do it without them, but for me, the name Live Nation is such a viable source of validity.
Yeah, it makes it like a real show.
Yeah, it's like we're good enough to be backed by Live Nation. I think it brings a sense of validity to what we do, and I'm really proud of that.
Now, you're going to be singing, right?
Yes,
What songs can we expect to hear you sing? I'm really excited to hear you sing, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, you're sweet. Well, what I do is kind of bastardized versions of Broadway show tunes. I don't want to be out there singing to make it right, although I always say you got to know where you came from to know where you're going, and I love it. But I feel like, and seduction was huge in Canada, so I might just shut up and do it anyway.
Yeah.
But normally what I do is I do a show tune, and I change the lyrics to make it more relevant to what we're doing. And, you know, it's me just being a big old musical theater queen, which is what I am. It's what my degree is in. It's what I do. But, you know, for me, it just makes it more real, intimate, one-on-one, because I feel like when I do the production stuff, I don't have the other girls there. And there's a sense of sadness for me when I see, there's part of me that loves seeing the Thelma Houstons and, you know, the people that have disco songs doing the stuff in clubs. And there's a part of me that's sad because it's like, it wasn't what it was.
Right.
And I don't ever want anybody to forget what it was. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like when people go out and they go out with a bang, like Seduction's first album was platinum, and that's all it ever was.
Yeah.
We didn't have a chance to fail, which was lovely. And I think that, like, I think they do it like there's that fake seduction going around. I think it's an injustice to what was seduction. Do you know?
Yeah, totally got it.
So sometimes I put clips, I'll sing clips here and there, and I'll just tease the audience a little bit. I don't see me having to do the entire stuff and bastardize it. I don't know. That's me. I'm weird like that. That's the way that I think.
So we just had some news this weekend. We just got the big release of season 6.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Which is your 4th season. Wait, 3, 4, 5. 4th season with the show, right? Because you started on 3. Now, there are some heavy hitters this season. Huge.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, what can we expect from this season? Because I feel like there's a divide between really new people and then really established people this season.
You know, here's the thing. And Rue and I, every season we look at each other after it's done, you know, get to the final 3, we look at each other and go, well, that's another one. How the fuck are we going to top this one?
Yeah.
And we just kiki and we laugh and we're like, I don't know where these bitches are coming from. And then I put it together in my head and I go, I know where they're coming from. They're kids that have been doing drag and fans of the show since they weren't legal. Then they turn legal and they start auditioning.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new breed. And the queens that have been around for a while have been auditioning and haven't gotten on, and they're finally getting on. So there are so many queens out there, I don't see us running out of queens in the foreseeable future. And that's going to bring me back to answer your question, which is, there is a divide. But the thing is, a lot of the queens that have been doing it for a while are regional. I may have known of them, but not really knew what they could do.
Sure.
And even some of the younger ones that are more known, like Adore and LaGanja. Like, I don't know who they are. Like, I don't know what they do. So for me, I like going into it not really knowing too many queens. There's some that I know of. I don't know, like, what they do. You know, I knew of Darien Lake in Syracuse. I don't know what she does. Does that make sense? Like, even though you've heard names, you don't really know what they are because you don't live there.
Yes, no, of course.
And I don't sit there looking at YouTube 24/7 because I'm busy all the time.
Yeah.
So, and that's Rue's job. For me, I like going into it knowing nothing. Rue knows. Rue looks at every single fucking one of those audition tapes. He looks at them, and the ones that haven't gotten on before, he knows what the right time is for these queens to make it on the show. He looks for changes in their video tapes, for growth, and then he knows, okay, it's their time. I like going on and not knowing shit, from surprise.
Yeah.
And if I know them when they walk on the runway, I go, oh my god, I know this queen is. I'm interested to see what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
And I think it's better that way, so I don't, this is really incorrect grammar, but the best way for me to say it is, so I don't be friends with them before.
Right.
You know?
So you may even go onto the first day of shooting or of the runway, and you may not know the cast yet. Is that correct?
I don't know the cast. I don't know the cast until I sit in that chair.
Oh, wow.
And I like it that way.
Yeah.
Like, with certain challenges, they might give us the opportunity, let's see. Let's say they do like a telenovela challenge last year.
Mm-hmm.
They might come into my dressing room and go, do you want to see what they shot yesterday? And I go, no. Whereas Santino likes to see it. I like to see it as it's being done, so my reactions are organic.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different way of approaching it. So there is kind of a divide this season, a little bit. But I don't think that's a problem at all. I think that's a good thing.
I think it's gonna be a pretty solid season. And when can we expect the new season to be out?
I think they said February. I think it's a little later this year.
It is a little later. End of February or something like that?
What did you say, babe?
Is it like end of February?
Honestly, I don't know. I didn't know February. I just thought February 2014. I don't remember. I don't recall. They might have told me and I stopped it in my head. But I'm really interested in seeing, because people forget they've seen me and they're like, bitch, you know you shot the season. But I don't, because the only thing I know is how they did on the runway and in those challenges.
Right.
I don't see any of the footage of anything else. I don't see any runway. I don't see any workroom. I don't see any confessionals. I don't know how they are with each other. I don't know what's going on back there. So I am truly watching it when they are. You are.
So it's a real, so it is true. You guys have no idea what happens in that workroom, so you don't take any of that into account, obviously.
Zero clue. Because if I saw, let's say, for example, if I saw how Raven was treating Juju or treating anybody in season, Morgan McMichael, whatever, I might go, and Raven is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I wanted Raven too. For me, I would have been like, oh, she's being me? And it might skew the way I see her. Or if they have a specific opinion about something that I strongly disagree with, it might make me go, ooh. Or if they say something that I'm fucking falling in love with, it makes me go, oh, I want them to win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So they intentionally don't let me get to know them. I don't get to meet them. I don't meet them personally until filming is done.
Right.
And they are off the show.
Yeah.
And the final three I don't get to talk to until it is done.
Until it's done.
Done, because I have such a fondness and affinity for these queens that I tend to fall in love with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't have a relationship with them until I'm done judging them.
Right.
And it makes complete sense if you think about it that way.
Is it going to be you and Santino and Rue as the main judges again this year, or are we getting a shake-up at all?
No, it's just us.
Same three. And can you tell us any of the guest judges coming on, or are we? Is that still under lock and key until?
I have to say no, because I don't know what they've released.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there's some heavy hitters, and it's really a great. I had a blast with the people who are judging this year. We had some really fun guest judges.
Yeah. There was
some
one thing,
familiar faces. What did you say?
There was one thing I wanted to ask about last season. Actually, this is kind of something that stood in my head.
Okay.
You and Kristen Johnston. That was one of my favorite episodes because you guys, I feel like she had her opinion stuck to it. You had your opinion stuck to it. Was there really that big of a headbutt at the judges panel as we saw?
My God, Kristen Johnston and I got along so great. It's just so that we're so fucking opinionated that when she said what she said, she stuck by it, and when I said what I said, I stuck by it. And if I rolled, then I rolled. I love her, and we share a birthday. So
I kind of feel like you guys, that she should be a regular on your judging panel because she was one of the only judges that had a really strong opinion about everyone and stuck to it.
She was so good. I mean, I really enjoy when wishy-washy or pushovers, like, that's not fun. I really enjoy when the guest judges are ballsy. Like, Ross Matthews is a perfect example. Johnny Weir was really chatty. Like, I like the ones that are really chatty and have a strong opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to really say what they're feeling and don't worry about what the queen's feeling, because it doesn't help them when they're just placating.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Tommy. I'm really excited to come to Canada.